Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 36 of the Essential Zodiac podcast. I'm your host, Cynthia McNulty.
And I'm Audrey Fannin, your producer.
Today, we are talking about the full moon in Sagittarius. But before we do that, I want to remind all of you June birthdays out there, it's time to order your solar return report, which outlines the energy coming your way from this birthday to the next. Now, you can find more information on that and how to order on my website. So just go to my website, www.essentialzodiac.com, click current promotions on the welcome page, and that will take you to the page where you can read about your solar return and order. Now is the last few weeks of the spring season. We're going to be moving into summer on June 21st, which is the summer solstice. So for these last few weeks, if you still want a spring equinox astro tarot reading, now is the time. After the 21st of June, I will have a new spread, and that will be all about the summer energy. And finally, and this is very exciting, I'm very excited about this, and finally, I'll be launching Essential Apothecary on June 21st, the summer solstice. So I'm going to have chakra oils and zodiac intention bottles, and they're for all the signs of the zodiac. So watch my website for that and Essential Zodiac's Facebook page for more information. But it'll definitely launch on June 21st.
How exciting.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very excited about it too. It's been a lot of fun developing these and everyone. So I hope everyone will enjoy them. But anyway, now on to the full moon in Sagittarius. So when we talk about this moon, here are the opportunities with this full moon is to release outworn beliefs and stepping into our authority, stepping into our power. Our challenges, because there's always a yin and a yang, our challenges are going to be deciding between fact and fiction and finding clarity. Sometimes we want something so much, or we don't want to do something that will delude ourselves. And that's the challenge. You really want to look at whatever it is you're trying to accomplish realistically. So the full moon in Sagittarius is on June 3rd. What's unusual about this particular full moon is it's forming two astrological patterns known as T-squares. And if you look at the chart for the day, June 3rd, you'll see the aspect lines, those lines that you find on the charts, form T's, capital T's. And the first T-square is a usual T-square. It's formed with the sun and the moon opposite each other, which is typical of a full moon, and Saturn is in that mix. The second T-square is Mars, Pluto, and Jupiter. So Mars and Pluto will be opposite each other with Jupiter in the middle. So Sagittarius is known as the sign of positivity, growth, adventure, philosophy, and spiritual freedom. It's ruled by Jupiter. And if we remember about Jupiter, Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. So it's always been, the attributes for Jupiter has always been growth and abundance. Also truth with a capital T. And I've always said, if you want to know how your outfit looks for real or your new haircut looks for real, go find yourself a Sagittarius. And just be prepared for the truth, the unvarnished, complete truth. But A Sagittarius will never lead you astray. They will always be honest with you. So with the two powerful T-square patterns that we have forming in the sky over this full moon, there is a sense that these Sagittarian themes may become somewhat of a cosmic battle. We may find ourselves fighting for our freedom, pushing against limits, navigating insecurity, or dealing with exhaustion. If we're going through a lot, it's very easy to become exhausted. It's also part of a defense mechanism, because if you go to sleep or you take a nap or whatever, you don't have to deal with what's bothering you. It's a tactic of mine I'm well familiar with. So T-squares have the power to reflect major change, but it takes effort and dedication on the journey. After all, Sagittarius is about taking a journey, whether that's an inner or outer experience. Remember, Sagittarius is the sign of the archer. And if you see the archer, the bow and arrow are always pointed towards the sky, to reach limits, to reach, the heights. So reflecting on our own personal journey over the last several months is the key to clarity around what is currently unfolding. Now, we've just come out, like the beginning of this year was very good. For the first 5 months, nothing was retrograde, everything was moving forward. And then we hit the end of April and May, and things got tense. We've just come out of eclipse season. We had Mercury retrograde. So those things kind of slowed us down a little bit, and the eclipses are always intense energy. So now here we are in June, and we can stop and take a look at what has unfolded and what we need to do to deal with it. Now, remember, every pattern has a purpose. All those aspects that we astrologers talk about, that's how the planets talk to each other, and that's how energy is formed. So the T-squares can be very special as they allow for character building and success. But we have to put in the work. It's not just going to be handed to us. Seeing as Saturn is at the middle point of the full moon T-square, this is the energy that will most likely be obvious and powerful. Saturn is about the work, the discipline, the boundaries we need to create, especially due to the fact that he's currently in watery Pisces. So that T-square is going to show itself the most powerfully. And also, too, we do have the full moon in there, which is powerful energy. So there's a strong spiritual emphasis at this full moon. It may be that we need to release outdated belief patterns, old ideologies, however hard that might be. It's time to step up and reclaim our inner guru. We've had a lot going on for a while now, and some of our previously held ways of thinking probably aren't working for us as well as they used to. Maybe we've begun to question those beliefs or those ideas. So now is time to look at that. Take a moment and evaluate how you want to live your spiritual life. So you want to look inside rather than looking outside for guidance. Owning our truth is important. Face our mistakes, our shortcomings, and find forgiveness is even more crucial. Releasing past mistakes and failures from the last few months will help set us free. Accepting our limits is a mark of maturity at this full moon. So we have free-spirited Sagittarius, but with Saturn bearing down on us, Responsibilities are unavoidable, yet we'll be rewarded for our acceptance. That is, if we open up to the possibility that this is energy working for us and not against us. So the ruler of this full moon is Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and that is the middle point of the second T-square. So you have Mars and Pluto, like I said, opposite each other, and the middle point is Jupiter. Now, Jupiter has recently entered Taurus, and there's been an expansive energy around Taurus's topics of beauty, love, relationships, security, and stability. Yet now, with Pluto and Mars opposite each other and Jupiter caught in the middle, there's a power struggle forming. A potentially intense or bullying situation may emerge, which asks us to stand firm and not be pushed, forced, or guided into a situation that doesn't feel right or healthy. So bear that in mind. Use your own inner feelings about that. If it feels wrong, it probably is wrong. So we may need to overcome stubbornness or inflexibility so that we can find greater flow. We may even need to release the need for absolute control. So our lesson during this dynamic full moon is to locate and make peace with the conflicting drives that may arise, to balance faith with logic, to accept that with greater freedom comes great responsibility. The potential for growth at this time is exponential. Yet we have to remember that no major accomplishment comes without growing pains. So now let's take a little break to think about that and absorb it. And when I come back, I'll have horoscopes for each sign for this full moon and some self-care tips.
Visit EssentialZodiac.com to check out Cindy's latest specials, including the Solar Return special for those of you born in June. While you're there, be sure to subscribe to her Skywatch Journal, a monthly email newsletter delivered right to your inbox. And whether you're a longtime listener or joining us for the first time, we hope you'll consider supporting production of this podcast by becoming a patron. All the details are right there at the website. Back to you, Cindy.
Thanks, Audrey. So now here's some horoscopes that will give us some information for each of the signs, some self-care tips. This information, this horoscope, will be, the energy here will be in play for the next 2.5 weeks until we hit the new moon. So for Aries, intellectual matters come to a head, Aries. The full moon lands in your 9th house of expansion, learning, and travel. If you're in a course of study, you may be finishing up a big project, test, or certification. This could also indicate a perspective shift. Perhaps you're re-evaluating your future and big picture goals, or new information arrives that sparks a new train of thought. Stay open-minded. The universe is speaking to you. So for your self-care tip, you may have a bit of cabin fever, so it's time to expand your horizons. Book a trip if possible. If not, get out in nature. Go for a hike or have a picnic in the park. Other perspectives will bring you more awareness during this time. Taurus. Your focus shifts to your finances, Taurus. The full moon in Sagittarius activates your 8th house of debt, loss, and your psyche. You may be investing in something big or paying off debt. Spending a little extra time with your budget now will save you a headache in the long run. This is an emotional house and may also have you reflecting on power dynamics that could require some readjustment. So your full moon self-care tip is practice asking for help and emotional support. It can be hard to reach out, but you deserve the comfort you give to others so freely. Venting to a friend or loved one will be healing and help you adopt new perspectives. You know where to reach me, Audrey. My little Taurus girl here.
I've got you on speed dial.
There you go. There you go. See? Good job. Now, for our Gemini friends out there, all important conversation may be discussed in your partnerships, Gemini. The full moon lands in your 7th house of one-on-one partnerships and contracts. This conversation has enough potential to either define or destroy the relationship. This energy may also manifest as changes with a business contract. Perhaps a new contract arrives, or you're ready to part ways with the one that no longer feels aligned. And your full moon self-care tip, if you're trying to make a decision about a person or specific control, try a pro and con list. Weighing your options and being able to view them all written out will help you process any emotions that are attached to the situation. And honestly, I do that. It sounds kind of, trivial or banal or whatever, but really to see it in black and white really gives you a good perspective. So I follow that and give it a try. Definitely give it a try. Now for Cancer. It's time to kick that bad habit, Cancer. The full moon in Sagittarius moves through your 6th house of well-being, daily work, and routines. Full moons signal a period of release, and there is no better time than now to reflect deeper on habits you practice that are more harmful than helpful. Try to incorporate a new healthy habit into your daily routine. It will lighten your load physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And your full moon self-care tip, write a list identifying the habits you'd like to incorporate into your routine but have been avoiding. Journaling, working out, eating healthier, better sleep. Try to incorporate one, and little by little, you'll make a big wave and change in your routine. Leo, this is yours truly. The full moon in Sagittarius activates your 5th house of creativity, children, and pleasure. If you're working on a creative project, this could signal a significant stage of completion. This is a cosmic reminder to celebrate yourself and to prioritize play and pleasure in your life. A dramatic conversation may take place, but you'll know how to spin it and make it entertaining. Full moon self-care tip, spending time with your inner child and activating that portion of your brain through activities that used to bring you joy will feel full circle and healing. Virgo. A family matter reaches a climax under this moon, Virgo. The full moon lands in your 4th house of family and home. A revealing conversation takes place that will have you reflecting deeper on your legacy and your lineage. Holding strong boundaries will be the key. If you're hoping to relocate, find new roommates, or renovate your home, this moon signals that progress and change is on its way. So your full moon self-care tip, family matters can be heavy. Carve out time for solitude and rest. You'll be craving a little extra solo time, and it can help you sort through any complex emotions that arise under this full moon. Libra. Your diplomatic nature is an advantage under this full moon, Libra. The moon moves through your 3rd house of communications, siblings, and short travel. You may be taking a short trip or working through issues with siblings or close relatives. Information will arrive under this lunation, and you may also be the one sharing, revealing information. Allow yourself to connect with your self-expression and speak what's on your mind. And your self-care tip, put pen to paper and see what simply flows out. You may find snippets of advice or emotions that you buried deeply. Allowing yourself to express with no expectation will be incredibly illuminating. And Scorpio. Your sense of security is up for revision, Scorpio. The full moon moves through your second house of income and self-worth, illuminating matters related to news of a promotion, raise, or a new work opportunity. This energy could also manifest as a more reflective time, centering your own self-love and self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself. A little indulgence counts as self-care and is in the stars for you. Your little self-care tip here: practice sending gratitude with every bill you pay and every purchase you make. Thank the universe for these resources to support yourself and your lifestyle. This will rewire your relationship with abundance and reduce a scarcity mindset. Sagittarius. So this is your moon. What are you ready to shed, Sagittarius? The full moon in your sign lands in your first house of self, identity, and personal goals. You may have achieved a long-time goal, and if so, this is certainly a cause for celebration. This is also a supported time to let go of past versions of yourself that you're not interested in carrying into the future and to evolve. Your full moon self-care tip: write yourself a letter from your future self. Where are you? What are your values? Which of your goals have you achieved? Write it in the present tense, as it has already manifested. Reread the letter in 6 months to witness how much transformation has taken place. Now, Capricorn. Closure is a process and not something that can be rushed, Capricorn. You need to focus on the practical. But with the full moon moving through your 12th house of seclusion, spirituality, and endings, it is time to tend to some emotional wounds. This is a powerful time to turn to spiritual practices that support your well-being as you process any endings or emotionally heavy situations that have come up recently. A fresh start is around the corner. And your self-care tip: take a bath. As you're bathing, visualize all the emotions and other people's energy that you've absorbed being scrubbed off you. As the tub drains, release any energetic connections that don't serve your highest purpose. Know you can begin again. Now, you can also take a shower, which is kind of like a method I prefer, because I'm not sitting then in the energy. So, same thing, take a shower, imagine, the energy. I imagine it like dirt, right? And as I'm cleansing myself, I just imagine it just coming off my body, going directly down into the drain. And I use, you can use a nice bath and body wash, something that smells good, a favorite scent, or they have these bath bombs you can use in the showers now too. So whatever works for you out there, Capricorn, and all of you, if you have, this kind of situation, a bath or a shower works wonders. And now Aquarius. A vision you had for your future may finally come true, Aquarius. The full moon lands in your 11th house of community, friends, and hopes and dreams. This is a magical time to recognize the growth and accomplishments you've made. A little drama within your closest circles may also ensue. The interaction may have you opening your eyes to the people you've been spending time with and wondering if you truly share similar values. Your self-care tip: What are some of your hopes and dreams? Create affirmations around them. Write them up in a list and then write about them in the present tense, as if they already exist. Investing in your vision may be life-changing. The more descriptive you are, the better. Another way to do this, too, is a vision board. And if you go on the internet, there's hundreds of entries about how to do a vision board. And you put this vision board in a place you're going to see it all the time, in your bathroom, in your home office, wherever, you're going to see it, in your kitchen. So a vision board is another way to go with this. And finally, Pisces. Your time has come, Pisces. If you've been working towards a large goal at work or a promotion, recognition is on the way. The full moon activates your 10th house of career, legacy, and reputation. It's a fantastic time to take up space and celebrate yourself. Others are noticing your hard work, so don't be shy about it. If you're feeling curious for a new adventure, you may feel called to apply to new jobs or positions at this time as well. Your full moon self-care tip: take a look through your old yearbooks or old photos from different stages of your life and acknowledge the hard work and accomplishments you've made over the years. Celebrating yourself will deliver more rewards. Also, too, if you don't have access to photos or your yearbooks or whatever, if you've kept journals, I do this occasionally. I look through some of my old journals, even as far as just a year ago, and you'll be surprised how things change and how your perspective changes on things. So it's an interesting exercise. So that's the end of today's episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Our next episode is going to be about the new moon in Gemini and the summer solstice. That episode will air on June 16th, so I hope you tune in. And remember, with astrology, you can chart your life's course.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Essential Zodiac Podcast. Stay connected between episodes. Look for Essential Zodiac on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And on YouTube, look for Cynthia McNulty. We're excited about the upcoming launch of the Essential Apothecary later this month. Details will be on the website, essentialzodiac.com, very soon. In the meantime, check out the monthly specials there on the website. This podcast is produced at Muddy Creek Studios.